And staying focused on the United Arab Emirates, in recent decades, museums, exhibits, and memorials dedicated to the Holocaust have been established across the globe, though, of course, less so in the Arab and Muslim world. Until now, Dubai's Crossroads of Civilizations Museum, which was founded in 2012 with a mission to reflect the culture of the United Arab Emirates and its values of openness and multiculturalism, has just opened the first permanent Holocaust exhibit in the Arab world. Now, the exhibit can be said to reflect a new discourse emerging in the UAE in the wake of the Abraham Accords, which is rooted in mutual respect and human compassion. And joining us now from Dubai is Ahmed Obeid Al-Mansouri, founder of the Crossroads of Civilizations Museum. And Mr. Al-Mansouri, thank you so much for joining us. This is really a groundbreaking move for the Gulf and the Arab world. Tell us about how you came to the decision to establish a Holocaust exhibit.
Thank you very much for the interview and welcome everyone here your prominent show. This exhibition reflects the true peace between both countries. This exhibition reflects the true culture of the UAE, the culture of openness and tolerance. And if we talk about the Crossroads Civilization Museum, this which is indeed a crossroad of all civilization, where we highlight all civilizations that have contributed to the world. So talking about history, we are a historical museum. So if we're going to talk about history, we have to also talk about the positive aspect and also the tragedies also. And it's very important to highlight certain issues such as the Holocaust, its magnitude, where where the tragedy happened, where people, were single because of their ethnicity, of their race, of their religion, and you have 6 million people have been massacred and tortured, all that. So people have to study this. It's about education. This museum talks about our values of tolerance, our values of multiculturalism, but at the same time, we have to also to learn from historical events. So this will never happen again. And there are multiple triggers for that. One of the triggers is that, lately the rise of the anti-Semitics in the world and anti-Semitism, and that's really affecting negatively. And unfortunately, it's happening in friendly countries, whether in Europe or North Africa. And it shows that, if that's happening there, it could happen other places in the world. And I think, and this trigger, and we have seen several images which are very disturbing, which show anti-Semitics and very racist images against the Jews. So we thought, since we are a historical museum, we have to highlight the negative aspect of intolerance. So we talk about the tolerance, we talk about the embracing everything, but at the same time, we have to show if we don't have tolerance, if we don't have peace, we cannot be compassionate for one another, what's going to happen? And there's no crime against humanity like that what happened during the Holocaust, the Holocaust, al-Maharqa. So, so that's why it's very important to highlight that so people can learn it, educate it. People know about it, but people have to learn more about it, how to prevent it in the future.
Right. So let's talk about learning. Let's learning more about it because, even a lot of Jews only think of the Holocaust as an exclusively European experience, but it did impact on Jews living in the Arab Muslim world in places like North Africa. And again, also Jews, when we think of righteous Gentiles who saved other Jews in the Holocaust, we think generally of European Christians, but there was some Arab and Muslims who saved Jews. Are they given their due in this new exhibit?
That's the good thing about our exhibition, which became a permanent gallery right now in the UAE. And this exhibition in the museum, we on one part, we are commemorating, and also giving the honor for the victims of the Holocaust. On one hand, we're showing the facts with all evidence, with all documents. At the same time, as you have mentioned rightly, that we have also shown the people, the people who are the good people who are trying to, who actually help the Jews, saving them, and we're also giving them a tribute for their great work for saving the Jews from standing against the Nazis, although risking their life. Like people from Albania, we have Albania. It's one of the country that the number of the Jews has increased. Saving them from other places, although the risk was very high on them. We've heard also about the imams in Algeria. They had the fatwa, to not to give the Jews to the Nazis. At the same time, we have the consul of Turkey, who saved the Jews, and also they bombed his house and killed his wife there in Germany. Also, we have Dr. Mohammed Hilmi, who saved Anna, and we have the full story about that. And we're very fortunate that from people from Israel and also people from the community here, the Jewish community, from the second and third generation, they shared with us the stories with the documents. And that helped us a lot, from stories and documents from both sides, from people, from the victim side and the tragedy side, and also from people who saved that. It's very important that, we should not be in denial. And there are lots of narratives here and there. At the same time, we have to make sure that, we provide the fact. This is a museum. A museum is the best platform. People are not judgmental in it. They're not political in it. People come there and go through the journey of history and learn about it. And hopefully after the COVID, we have children coming there. They can learn more about it. We have more than 200 ethnicities and nationalities living here. And we have children from there. So it's very important people to study it from the early stages, so such thing will not be repeated again. But it can happen anytime. And we've seen several tendencies of
right.
So many areas.
Sure. Let me ask you, the museum is just open, but there have been some visitors, I guess, in the past few days. What has been the reaction of people to the museum, to the exhibit in the museum?
See, when you go to the museum, it's a very beautiful journey of history. But when you get to that exhibition, it's a different feeling. Because we have put that chronological and we are using also the visual aspect of it. And so people who come, they visit there, locals and non-locals, the residents, and we have people from Israel and other countries. The reaction so far is not negative. And even the media here, they came several times and they did good coverage. I think you have seen some of their coverages here in the country. And the media reflects the pulse of the people, because this museum reflects the pulse of the culture. And if we talk about the peace, our peace, we are very committed to it. It's complete. It's not just about political and economic, also it's cultural, tradition, and religion, at the same time compassionate. We share with you the sorrows, at the same time we share with you other good times. So this is a complete peace, and people are for that. Many who don't know the certain details. I did not know many details. I never thought, before January 6th that, this might happen again.
Right.
But after January 6th, I decided, no, we have to really do something, because, for what we've seen, we have to do something about it.
Well, it sounds like Crossroads of Civilizations Museum is now a must-see, certainly in Dubai. Ahmed Obeid Al-Mansouri, thank you for joining us again on I-24 News.